So the entire Angel Reese thing is mental. It's absolutely mental. Like, this happened hours and hours ago.
Angel had the and one opportunity. In that moment, was that a decision to have her miss, or just what was the thinking there in that scenario?
I understand holding the team accountable, and I understand doing this behind closed doors, but doing this publicly is just torpedoing a locker room.
No, she asked if we wanted her to miss. I told her to make it. It would have only been a 1 or 2 point game. It'd been a 1 possession game anyway. So no, she just missed the free throw. I mean, it happens. So
Angel Reese steps to the line in the final seconds, and the ball clangs off the rim. The crowd gasps, and instantly the blame game begins. But here's what nobody's telling you: that miss didn't just cost points. It ignited a firestorm aimed at her coach, teammates, and even the refs.
And she's essentially said, you're all shit other than Camilla. And ironically, net rating wise, Angel and Camilla is not a good combo. I actually applaud Angel Reese for putting pressure on her front office, but I don't applaud how she has done it. They clearly won't ever win playing together. And she's actually trying to get rid of the entire team.
Why did one free throw set off a national debate, and how did Reese become the lightning rod for all of it? This isn't just about a miss, it's about a pattern you'll recognize the moment we break it down. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. One missed free throw might look small on a box score, but the moment Angel Reese's shot bounced off the rim, it stopped being about numbers and became a spark for chaos.
Unlike all those players, all who had championship experience except Mabry, Reese took direct swings at her teammates and coach.
Fans went from holding their breath to firing off instant takes online, and the shift was brutal. What should have been a simple moment in the game instantly twisted the entire storyline. Instead of breaking down defensive sets or missed rotations, the whole conversation turned into one giant hunt for somebody to blame. That single bounce created a ripple effect that took over highlight shows, Twitter feeds, and even post-game interviews. Suddenly, nobody cared about who actually won. They only cared about who was responsible for the loss. Now imagine sitting in that arena. The team walks off in silence and the shot clock lights fade, but the noise from fans only grows louder. You'd think the breakdown would center on plays that led up to the final seconds, but no, it zoomed straight in on Reese. Except here's the twist. The anger didn't stay on her. Almost immediately, it shifted to her coach.
And this is the thing where it's like, if she's not putting up big stats, she is a net negative for the team.
no, she asked if we wanted her to miss. I told her to make it. It would have only been a 1 or 2 point game. It'd been a 1 possession game anyway. So no, she just missed the free throw. I mean, it happens. So
They suck with Angel Reese. They suck without Angel Reese. They do suck significantly less with Angel Reese than without Angel Reese.
Comment sections filled with claims about poor play calling, bad substitution patterns, and wrong rotations. People were acting as if the coach had personally walked up and put the ball in Reese's hands and forced the miss. Within minutes, one free throw was being reimagined as proof the coaching staff didn't know how to manage big moments. And then came the wave of defense. Reese's biggest supporters jumped to her side, not just protecting her from criticism, but reorganizing the entire lost narrative. Whole threads popped up telling fans the real issue wasn't Reese. It was the system around her. Screenshots of late-game possessions were passed around like courtroom evidence. Captions saying, "This isn't on her," as if a case was being built. Instead of addressing execution on the floor, the conversation morphed into who should take the fall instead. Supporters weren't just defending her, they were building a shield of excuses strong enough to redirect every critique somewhere else.
From there, Reese dissected the Skies roster, calling us specific teammates by name. She's quoted multiple times saying, "We need great players. But while I'm here, I'm going to try stay open-minded while I have about what I have here and maximize that as much as I can. I'd like to be here for my career, but things don't pan out. Obviously, I might have to move in a different direction, but I do what's best for me."
But that shield didn't just land on her coach. Pretty soon, teammates were dragged in. Posts accused them of not spacing the floor properly, of missing open looks earlier, of not putting her in a position to succeed. It spiraled so fast that suddenly 3 or 4 players who barely touched the ball in crunch time were trending online. Then, as always happens, the spotlight turned on referees. Clips of fouls were slowed down, annotated, and used as supposed proof that Reese never should have been in that pressure moment to begin with. The blame transformed from a local problem into a league-wide conspiracy, and the whole thing played like a rerun fans had already seen 100 times.
According to the report, Reese said she doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Banham or Hailey Van Lith are capable of leading a playoff team. Yeah, no shit. I mean that, no shit, obviously.
And the longer it lasted, the wilder it got. Conspiracy theories that the league favored other stars, talk about broadcaster bias, and even random accusations about narratives being fixed started popping up. It was like every excuse from every corner was being thrown at the wall just to see if anything would stick. Some people even swore commentators were more excited when opposing players scored, so obviously the broadcast was stacked against Reese. At that point, the actual game didn't matter. The timeline looked more like a comedy skit than serious analysis, with excuses piling up on top of each other until you couldn't tell what was real criticism and what was just noise. Here's the wild part. Reese's free throw wasn't just a basketball moment anymore. It became a fight to protect an image. Supporters weren't arguing about mechanics on her shot. They were arguing about loyalty, media treatment, and whether she was unfairly targeted. The basketball itself disappeared from the conversation, replaced by chaotic mudslinging about anything except the actual miss. Reese went from being a player on the court to being the center of a storm she didn't even fully control.
And a source told Front Office Sports that she wants Marsh to coach the team harder, which is fair. Which is actually fair enough. If she has a problem with Ariel Atkins, then this doesn't make any sense.
And like a lightning rod, every stray ounce of anger, frustration, and conspiracy found its way back to her name. When you zoom out, it's almost shocking how fast it turned. A missed shot could have been a teachable moment, a chance to talk about improving under pressure. But instead, the focus got lost in excuses. Real growth never comes from pushing responsibility onto everyone else. And that's the difference we see with someone like Caitlin Clark, who's facing pressure too, but turning that spotlight into undeniable performances. Clark's example shows what transformation really looks like when the lights are brightest. At the end of the day, transformation in sports isn't built on excuses or pointing fingers. It's built on nights where the performance is so strong, nobody can pick it apart. That's what separates stars who trend for drama from stars who trend for highlights. If Angel Reese wants to stand next to Caitlin Clark in conversation, her play has to force people to pay attention. The game has to cut through all the noise. So ask yourself this: do you want your stars remembered for damage control or for moments that actually change the direction of the league?